Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning into this webisode of Rants. I'm so excited for today because we're celebrating the official beginning of the fall season. And we're gonna try something totally new, so maybe bear with us here. We have Kate Simmons joining us today, the content manager of Rocky Mountain Student Media, to do some funky fall crafts with us. So without further ado, let's get ready to make some fun and maybe easy fall crafts. I guess we'll find out, right, Kate?
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
I know, we'll see. We've been toying with it, as you might be able to tell on the table, but it's kind of not really been working out the way we kind of thought it would.
You know what? It's the process.
It's the process, and this is what craft making is all about. It's way too fun. So we're going to start off with our first craft, which we found immediately on Pinterest when you search fall crafts. Quite fun. And this lovely thing we call Mod Podge.
We're wondering if this is actually the correct glue that we should be using.
Yeah.
And we're wondering if you should be using real leaves, because as you can see, this one is actually kind of sticking. I'm impressed.
Works. And this one actually is a real leaf, so I think that's the trick. Point being, we're figuring these out all for you guys, So what you do with these, it's really quite a simple concept, but maybe not so easy in execution. You take a mason jar, just any sized mason jar. I would probably stick with the bigger ones because as we've found out, they are kind of like, with the leaves being so big, it's hard to stick them to these smaller ones, don't you think?
Yeah.
So, but it's a pretty easy concept. You just take any kind of felt brush, or if you like to be messy, you can use your hands, and you just take a thick, liberal coating and just paint it on these leaves. And you want to make sure that you have a nice base coat on the bottom too, so that the leaf can actually stick. I made the mistake of buying these plastic ones that you can kind of rip off those plastic branches, and they are already so formed that it's kind of hard to push them down. But yeah, you can go outside and pick real leaves out, like this one here, and it sticks a lot easier. So you can just paint the back of them like so. If you will, I'm not very crafty, so I'm trying just for you, CTV audience. And then, so you paint the back of these, stick them on like so, and then paint the tops as well. And you want to make sure that you have the kind of coating that you want. A lot of these have the Mod Podges have different finishes. So you want to make sure that you have like a glossy one if you want it to have a shinier finish versus they have matte finishes, they have different colored finishes. So different things like that. And eventually, you're going to end up with something that looks a little bit like this if we can pull it up on the screen. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So welcome to DIY Pinterest Fails with Jacky Wilson. This is what it's supposed to look like. So you actually end up putting a candle in there, and it ends up illuminating out, and you can see all the various colors in the leaves. I have seen them done. It is possible. I swear. You just have to be a little patient with it and wait for it to dry, too.
Well, and if you have problems like we did, you can come up with other things. Austin, our weather guy, came up with this lovely contraption where we just use twine and hold the leaves on that way.
Right.
This has water in it, and the plastic leaves in there was another
resourceful
experiment that we tried out here.
But one thing that actually did really work out is we tried to be resourceful again and kind of recycled all of the lids from these mason jars that we epically failed at. And we took all of them, and it's quite simple actually. It was pretty easy to do. You just take these circular lids, and if you have a whole bunch of them, it probably works a little better, and just any kind of string. And you wrap it around, kind of putting them on almost as if it were a necklace. We could make 2 chains out of these if we really wanted to.
Right.
Start a wrapping career. Because obviously our Pinterest one is failing us. But hey, that's okay. Anyways, you end up just tying them in a circle and kind of spreading them out so they look somewhat pumpkin-y. You can put cinnamon sticks in here, and they end up looking like cute little branches, or just a nice cute little leaf, just like so. I mean, it's great fall crafting, right? So fun.
Yeah, and it doesn't rot like pumpkins.
Exactly, and it's something you can take apart and reuse, and it's just something that is handy to have around the house anyway.
And that one is extremely easy.
So easy. It takes about like 2 seconds.
Yeah, so if you get frustrated with your mason jars, we did not get frustrated.
Never. No, but hey, it's easy. And hey, sticking things in jars with Jacky and Kate. Maybe we can make a new career out of this. It's a nice thing.
It sounds like something that could really take off, Jacky.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking, right? And hey, I mean, the great thing about fall is that you are inside a lot of the time, so it's nice to be able to kind of take a break. However, there are a lot of like fall festivities going on, so when you're not crafting, you can kind of go out and do fun things like pumpkin patch picking.
Absolutely, corn maze.
Corn maze, haunted mazes.
Haunted houses,
things like that. All that kind of fun stuff. But anyway, so you'll need official fall leaves, a paintbrush, this fantastic maybe Mod Podge gunk, either a balloon or mason jar or whatever you want to kind of stick this stuff on, and then you just kind of like go from there. There's other crafts you can make too, like I just mentioned the balloon activity. Very similar process. Again, I would probably stick with real leaves, and you can make a bowl out of them, and also along the balloon line you can cut up different colored balloons and make them into like a candy corn shape. So all you have to do with that is cut the top and the bottom off of a white, yellow, and orange balloon and layer them up on your mason jar and then put a candle in it. It's the same effect as the leaf thing if this doesn't really work out for you.
That seems like it would have been much easier.
I know, I'm kind of thinking that's like, and it's a good fall craft for kids too, or just people who are incompetent like myself with crafts. So hey, there you go. Well, whatever extra supplies you have around the house, I mean, you can just throw it in a jar. That's kind of my crafting expertise on that one.
Things in jars.
Things in jars.
With Jacky.
Well, we're going to let all of our hard work dry and harden and hopefully crash and burn.
Hey, you know what? Maybe when it dries, it'll be easier to, finish up.
Yeah, I hope so. And the next web episode you're going to see is going to be with these lovely ladies from Your Daily Fiber who are going to teach us the fall crafts that we can actually use and turn into your favorite fall accessory. Check it out. The end.